Today I want to speak about focus. What is focus? Why is it relevant? Why is it important? Focus becomes a lot more important when you have a goal or an intention or maybe even a change that you want to make in your life. Then you really do need to kind of refocus and use your energy, your attention a bit more carefully if you are going to reach your goal or set that intention and actually follow through with it, because a lack of focus means that you are likely distracted or you are just not getting to everything that you want to or need to get to as a result of a lack of focus. If I think about focus, what I really think about is energy, attention. When you are focused on something, you are usually very immersed in it. So if you focused on reading a book, then you'll be fully immersed in that book. Your attention, your focus is there reading that book. You kind of get pulled into the book, so you don't really hear things around you as much. It will be a lot more difficult to get distracted because you are focused. So that's just an example. Another example is if you are focused on your work emails, then you're usually very immersed in your computer. Your energy and your focus is there. So your energy and your attention is really almost like a resource that you have in completing your tasks, in achieving goals, in doing anything. Without focus, you won't really be able to do anything the way that it needs to be done. And obviously, depending on how difficult it is, you may need more or less focus to do certain things. But where your attention, where your focus goes, that is where you are sending your energy. That is where your energy is flowing to. So if you're focused on your phone and you're at a dinner with friends or family and you're focused in your phone, then that's also an example of how your focus can just be placed in the wrong place, I suppose, at the wrong time. And obviously this depends on the circumstance, but the whole point is to keep your focus and attention directed to where it needs to be directed at the time that it needs to be directed there. So if you do have a goal that you are setting for yourself, or you are working on something, you're building a business, then it's very important to stay focused on each task that needs to get done. So when you split your focus, you are splitting your energy. Multitasking is an example of this. When you are focused on completing multiple tasks at once, what that does is that it splits your attention. So instead of sending all of your energy and all of your focus in that one moment to one task, your focus is split. So you're doing a few things at once, and what that means is that you're going to have less energy given to each of those things, and you might make mistakes. You might not be able to perform each task as well as had you just focused on one task at a time. What you want to do is focus your energy on one goal at a time so that you can actually perform that task to the best of your ability, and so that you can get everything done with full intention and full attention on what you are doing. Another aspect of attention or focus is that what you really want to do is focus on what you want as opposed to what you don't want. So whenever you are, setting yourself a new goal, maybe you want to run a 5 kilometer and you just had a very, very difficult run. So what you want to focus on is the fact that, I just completed a run. Yes, it was very hard, but I am getting better and better each time, and the next time I run, it is going to be better. I am going to improve. That way you are choosing where you place your focus. You're putting your focus on something that you do want, which is to improve at running. So you can focus on that. And if you're not careful about where you put your focus, then you might be more inclined to focus on the negative, right? So if the run was very difficult, you might say to yourself, by focusing on the negative, you might say to yourself, oh my word, that run was so difficult. I'm never going to get better at running. It's always going to be so hard. I'm never going to do it. It's never going to be easy. You focused on the negative. You focused on, the worst outcome, which is that you won't be able to run and that you'll never get it done, as opposed to focusing on, okay, it's difficult now, but with practice and, you know, showing up consistently, I will get better at it. So your focus again is your energy, and where you put your attention, where your energy goes, that is where your energy is flowing. And so if you are always focused on the negative, then you are directing all of your energy to the negative, and so you're going to feed that negative. You're going to feed that momentum of the negative thinking, and over time, then, you know, if you keep thinking negative, with that one negative thought, you're going to attract more negative thoughts. So again, the initial negative thought here is that run was so difficult, that run was so hard, I can't do this. So it goes on to the next one. What if next time is just as hard or harder? What if I never get this right? You know, so you kind of just, one negative thought feeds another negative thought. So with that one negative thought, you will attract more negative thoughts. And from there, you just attract more negative thoughts. And then it's like you just keep going in that negative spiral, because that is where your energy is going. So with that frame of mind and with that focus, you are sending your energy in a certain direction. So I've always been, you know, inclined towards negative thinking, and I really had to work my way out of that. I had to become a more positive thinker, a more optimistic thinker, and I had to change my focus. I had to focus on, okay, so you're going to be placing your focus either on the negative or on the positive in every situation, and it's not as simple as just switching to a positive mindset. Sometimes you really do need to work through some deeper beliefs, or, you know, the situation might be different, but you will always kind of have a choice in terms of how you focus your energy in each situation. Another thing is to focus your energy on what you can control, as opposed to focusing your energy on something that you can't control. So again, this speaks to your focus and your energy in terms of your thoughts and how you mentally approach life. If you're always focused on things that you can't control, that is going to leave you feeling very, very anxious, like you don't have control, like there's nothing you can do. That feels very destabilizing for us. If we feel like we can't control something, sometimes that can feel very scary. But at the end of the day, you know, in certain situations, there is only so much you can control. And so by focusing on something that you can't control, that is unnecessary stress. You can't control the situation. There's nothing you can do. So, you know, in that situation, if you are in a situation where there's nothing more you can do, you can't control what's happening, you can't control what has already happened. What I would do for myself usually in that situation is I would first accept the fact that I can't control it, accept the fact that it's already happened, accept the fact that I have no control over the situation, and all I can do now is focus on how I respond to the situation. Really, it's about acceptance, and then it's about focusing on what you can control. So in any given situation, you will have a choice in terms of how you respond. What you can focus on now is the things you can control. So let's say you are at university and you're completing your first semester and you've just failed your first exam and it's terrible. You can focus on the fact that it's terrible and the fact that you failed, and you know, you can feed that thought, which will then bring on more thoughts of I'm a failure, or I'm never going to get this right, or I'm dumb, I'm not smart enough, or so that one thought will just keep gathering momentum and you'll just get more negative thoughts. Or you can focus on what you can control now, which is the next exam, the next assessment, the next, you know, task that you can control still in order to pass the semester. So by placing your energy and your attention and your focus on something that you can control, that way you at least are gearing yourself towards a bit more of a positive outcome, because now you do still have control. You can still make an effort to change the outcome. You can still change direction. You can still gather momentum in another direction, right? So energy, attention, and focus is very, very important if you are going to reach your goal. So if your goal is to get that degree, you are going to need to stay focused. You're going to need to have an intention, and you're going to need to set yourself, you know, clear boundaries in terms of where you're going to be focused. So if you focused more on building your social life, if you focused more on partying, that is going to interfere with your goal of getting that degree. because your focus is not where it should be. So if you want to have more focus, you really need to think about your intention, right? What do I want to achieve here? What is important for me in the next 4 years? What do I want to build? Okay, I've decided I want to get this degree. So let me place all my focus, let me place all my attention on that as my primary goal. And if I have extra time, then I can direct my focus to a few other things, you know, like partying or like building a business on the side, if that's something that you want to do. But it's important to know, okay, what am I focused on and why am I focused on this? And then that way, you know, when you have a why behind why you're doing something, that is usually what keeps you driven towards actually achieving it and actually getting to the end of that goal. You have to know why you are doing something, and with that why, you are then able to prioritize and you're able to direct your focus, direct your attention to where it needs to go. Think of your focus as kind of like an energy and a currency. So your energy and your time, that is all something that you can use to your advantage. You can use that to build something, you can use that to create, you can use that very intentionally, or you can spend your time, you know, not really knowing where your attention or focus goes. So if you are distracted a lot on social media, or if you're distracted a lot by things that kind of take you away from working hard to achieve your goal, or from chasing your dream, or from getting creative, or from doing whatever it is that you want to do, you need to be mindful of where your focus is, where your attention is going. You know, are you watching series for hours and hours a day? Are you watching YouTube videos for hours and hours a day? Are you on social media scrolling for hours and hours a day? And if you are, then think about that. There's no judgment, but think about, okay, is this the most optimal use of my energy? Is this really where I want to be giving all my energy? Does this situation fill your cup up? Does it replenish you, or does it deplete you? That's another important thing to focus on and to think about. Are you focused on activities or on tasks or on work or on people or on things or on platforms that drain your energy? Or is your focus and your attention going to things that lift you up, things that contribute to your growth, things that make you feel energized and happier and more joyful, you know, more love and peace? Or is it something that drains you? It leaves you feeling depleted, it leaves you feeling negative. All of this is based on where you are putting your attention. In every single situation, you get to choose where you are focusing and where you are putting that attention and where you're putting that energy. And with that focus, with that energy, you are feeding whatever it is that you're focused on, because you're giving your attention to it. So this is why on social media and on TV, they use advertising, and what they are doing, what the advertising agencies are doing, is they pay to have their ads placed there. And why is that important for them? Why is that beneficial for them? Because it's your attention. That is what they're buying. They're buying time on the screen or on the radio or on the social media app. They are basically paying for a space where they can then have your attention, have your focus, have your energy. And so your energy really is, it's like a currency. It's like something that you trade. It's something that you exchange. So you need to think, am I getting, you know, energized from these people, situations, or things, or am I being depleted? Is my energy going somewhere productive, or is it going somewhere unproductive? Am I wasting my time and my energy and my focus and my attention by numbing and distracting myself? Or am I focused and am I directing my energy towards something that I actually want to direct my energy towards? Focus your energy on one goal at a time. Focus your energy on things you can control. Focus your energy more on, you know, the positive outcome, and gearing your mindset, feeding your energy to a more positive outcome, because each thought that you give your energy to is going to multiply more of that energy. So if you're feeding your energy to positive thoughts, that will feed the next round of thoughts that come to you, which is going to be positive thoughts. So just thinking about where you're directing your focus and your energy will give you, a different experience on a day-to-day level. If you're constantly feeding positive thoughts, then you will naturally be inclined to think more positively. Whereas if you're always focused on negative thoughts, negative outcomes, then that tends to become a mindset as well. And that tends to be where you consistently then are giving your energy to. So just be mindful of where your attention and where your energy and where your focus is going. Try and really be intentional with your focus, and try and focus on the things that you want to focus on. Focus more on the things you do want than the things you don't want. So that's my message for today. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'm sending you so much peace and love.